to all my grown folks. Back with another episode. Today we're talking about R&B singer, songwriter, rapper, all around businesswoman Lizzo. It's a lot of allegations of hypocrisy, body shaming, and freakiness. So let's hear from the plaintiffs in the lawsuit.
Hotel lobby. What goes into my termination is that I had felt for a really long time that they were questioning my abilities due to weight gain. It was never explicitly said, hey, you're gaining weight. Your job is in jeopardy. It was never that. It was very nuanced. It was very under the rug. And I think that language was used to keep from being canceled. Previously, she had said, she was worried about me at South by Southwest. And when I was at South by Southwest, that was the first time I had showed up to a Lizzo event or gig, noticeably having gained weight. There was nothing different about me. My performance skills were the same. My demeanor was the same. My energy was the same. The only thing that was different about me was my weight. And in this meeting, she stated as well that, dancers get fired for gaining weight. And then she kind of paused and looked at me, and I still don't know if she really meant to single me out in that moment. But when she looked at me and she said that, I was kind of like, so she's really concerned about my weight. And then, when we had that private meeting, when I was kind of cornered, they kind of wouldn't let me, get away with not telling them something personal. So, and a reason why something was wrong with me. So I ended up telling them that I struggle with, anxiety and depression, and that I'm in recovery from an eating disorder. And as soon as I said eating disorder, they immediately were like, oh, like in their head, it was making sense as to why I was gaining weight.
Okay, that was clip number one, the young lady. So basically, it's three different dancers that are suing Lizzo. So everybody's lawsuit or gripe with Lizzo is different. I'm seeing a lot of stuff, and I don't want to get too deep and too specific. This is very early on, so I want to keep it light because we just don't know at this point. But I got one more clip.
Lizzo is facing some big allegations. The singer has been accused of sexual harassment and creating a hostile environment as 3 former dancers spoke out against her in a lawsuit. And those dancers calling her out were Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez. The accusations include sexual and religious harassment, false imprisonment, and discrimination. And of course, people are shocked and surprised by the allegations, with one person saying still trying hard not to believe this because she doesn't appear like that kind of person. It's always the ones you don't see coming. So Lizzo, whose brand is about publicly celebrating body positivity, has also been accused of body shaming, along with her dance captain Shailene Quigley. According to the allegations, she reportedly invited dancers to a nude cabaret bar without disclosing what the performance actually was, and supposedly forced a dancer to touch a woman's breast at a strip club despite the dancer refusing to do so prior, and even allegedly made thinly veiled comments relating to a dancer's weight gain, then fired her for recording a meeting while suffering from an eye condition. It's not been made clear if the singer has known about these allegations, but she's yet to publicly respond. But in the wake of all these allegations, it's now been reported that Beyonce has ditched Lizzo's name from the Break My Soul remix during a performance on her Renaissance tour. Honestly, we're just as shocked as you are. But how are you taking this crazy news?
Okay, so we saw the 2 clips with everybody saying what they had to say about Lizzo. Now, I wanna hone in. All right, so I wanna get a little more in depth with all of this. Now, Lizzo is 35 from Detroit. Did not know that. Lizzo is like the BBW spokesperson. Her whole campaign is about body positivity. She runs around half naked at times. She shows her behind at times, literally. She's the person, the face of, it's not overweight, obese, or morbid obese. It's I'm fine and you need to accept this the way it is. That whole campaign. And let me say this: I don't have a beef with Lizzo. I don't. I'm very neutral. I don't know if any of this is true. I don't know if these people are just about money. I don't know if she's being blackballed. I personally don't have a beef with Lizzo. So this is just based off my research, what I'm saying here. But I know that the one thing I guess I can say I disagree with Lizzo on is the way my body is perfect. Don't label me obese or morbid obese. That's a real thing. Having too much body fat and too much weight to height ratio is definitely a problem, right? We all know that, but in today's society, it's not always accepted or okay to say the truth, to be an adult about it and say this is what it is, right? Okay, so there's three dancers with three different gripes or discrepancies within the Lizzo lawsuit. I do have a statement actually. Lizzo. Okay, so I did find Lizzo. So Lizzo actually has came out to say something. Her and her people have probably prepped her, and so what Lizzo is saying is, there's nothing I take more seriously than the respect we deserve as women in the world. I know what it feels like to be body shamed on a daily basis and will absolutely never criticize or terminate an employee because of their weight. So that was Lizzo's quote, and she also went on. So yeah, so Lizzo is saying that this is cap, that they're just taking this and running with it. There's no truth to any of the matter. Okay, let's talk about the machine behind this. Let's talk about the production company. Let's talk about how this might not even really be Lizzo. Let's talk about how this may be her management people. Who knows. Now, the one young lady did say she had a private meeting with them, and they kind of pinned her in a corner. But a lot of people are saying, this may be the management company and not Lizzo herself, because it would be very hypocritical for Lizzo to body shame somebody and speak about them gaining weight when she has been a BBW, and I hope that term is not offensive, herself. Furthermore, she actually sought out plus size, I think that's a better term, plus size women to be her dancers. Weight is a sensitive subject. It's a sensitive subject for me and anyone else. Now, I've never been plus size, thank God. I have had to lose weight before, but it was never anything ridiculous. So I know that that's a sensitive area. Now, there's another component, being a dancer in the occupation. A lot of people are saying that when you have this type of occupation, you cannot gain weight. I don't know if that was part of their contract or not, if that's just an unwritten rule in the dance community. I don't know. Okay, they also accused her of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Now, let's talk about the sexual harassment part for a minute. Can we talk about that?
All right. Gonna learn today.
What the hell went down in Amsterdam? Did y'all hear about that? She took them to some cabaret party, and kind of forced them to go. They didn't really know what was going on. They got there, it's people naked. She wants you to eat bananas off people's private parts and all kind of stuff. Sound like Lizzo a little freaky dicky, huh?
She belongs to the streets.
Now, I don't know, again, I don't know, this is all alleged. I don't know what went down in Amsterdam, but whatever went down, it sounded like it was a whole lot of sexual stuff that her tour dancers wasn't cool with. So that's just one component, what happened in Amsterdam. Then you got, the young lady who was talking about her weight being an issue. I read, because there's three different girls. There's another girl who's saying her virginity was an issue. It's so many different components to this, and it's so early on. It's too premature to say who's at fault, who's telling the truth, who's lying. We'll have to see how all of this comes out. But I want to end with talking about Hollywood. Since we grown folk, let me just say this, and I hope you mature enough to handle this, but Hollyweird is a very interesting entity. And sometimes things go down that the average Joe Blow everyday person who keep their head in the sand don't really even understand or even fathom. A lot of people feel like this is preposterous. How, first of all, Lizzo's a woman, as if women can't be sexual predators. But anyway, not saying that she is. I'm just saying you have to stay open-minded. This is Hollywood we talking about. You and I don't know for a fact, but a lot of things have came out about what some of these celebrities have to do to get their bag and to stay relevant. Who knows if it's just pure talent that these dancers need and have to have, or if it's other things that they have to do to be able to stay in these close circles. You know what I mean?
And you know this, man.
You know, maybe Lizzo is being blackballed. Maybe she pissed off the elites or the higher ups and her name is getting dragged through the mud because she's non-compliant. Maybe it was time for people to pay their dues, and people had to get down or lay down, so to speak, when it comes to dealing in Hollywood. You know, everything is not always about what you know. Sometimes it's who you know. And with that, sometimes you go to parties, different Hollywood parties and mansion parties, and it's some real freaky deaky things that go down that you might not be comfortable with and doing. And a lot of times people do very degrading and humiliating things for money. A lot of people sell their souls for money. So a lot of people are saying, where were these allegations all this time? Why are these chicks just now coming out saying something? Who knows? It's very premature, but it's looking like your girl Lizzo is canceled. It's looking pretty much like sis is canceled. I have, you know, I don't have no hate for Lizzo. I actually saw her play the flute for the first time a few months ago, and to me she was very talented, and that's all I know. I think maybe she got like a clothing line for like big girls, plus size, something or another. I'm not exactly sure, but that's it. I don't have a beef or a vendetta with Lizzo. I'm covering it because it's trending, but I just had to throw that component in just to keep it real with y'all, how I think outside of the box. And I just think that sometimes you have to, it's no different than some of us when we were in school or high school or hanging with our cousins, and you went off somewhere and everybody like, you need to do this. If you want to stay in the clique or in the crew, you need to do this to prove to us that you down with this. And you know, maybe they did it and now they're speaking out. Maybe they refused. Maybe Lizzo's getting blackballed, or a combination of all of these. But this is what's going on. Lizzo is trending. Let me know what you saw, what you hearing around social media, what's going on with Lizzo. We pray for her and these young ladies. This is definitely not a good look, but it's Hollywood. All kind of weird-ish goes down. This has been your girl B with another episode of Grown Folk Talk. Please like, subscribe, share the content. And thank you to all my new subscribers and everybody who's been rocking with me, supporting me, your cash apps, everything. I appreciate y'all so much. And we're going to keep it pushing. We've been 4 months on YouTube and we almost at 4K subs. So I ain't mad at that. I ain't got no problem with nobody.
Nope.
But we're going to definitely keep it pushing. I'll check y'all out in the next one.